We have two representatives from the BJP point of view tonight. Mahesh Jethmalani, senior lawyer from Mumbai, and Jainarayan Vyas, senior leader from Gujarat. Most unfortunately, just 5 minutes back, our Congress representative on the subject told us he would not be able to make it. Vrinda Grover is representing the other point of view. She's the lawyer in this case, well-known human rights lawyer and activist. Thank you. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Vrinda Grover, do you believe that this NIA document of 13th October 2010, which quotes para 168, which has the reference to Ishrat Jahan in the interrogation report of David Coleman Headley, talking about, and I quote, Zaki added that the Ishrat Jahan module was one of Muzammil's botched up operations. Do you believe this note is fake or true? And what relevance do you think it has?
Let me answer the latter part first. It is totally irrelevant to either this case or the trial. The High Court has said it. I think all lawyers, and there are 3 persons on this program today who are very conversant with law, it is totally irrelevant to the trial or the case under investigation. Who is it relevant to? It is only relevant to those who wish to now hide after having committed a gruesome crime. As long as they can keep presenting to the country that they have killed terrorists, they feel it is all right and they will be able to get political dividends even if the court of law is going to prosecute them. That is how the game is being played out. The reason why none of us have ever been interested in this is because it is actually totally irrelevant to the investigation and the prosecution. The second part, whether this document of NIA, it is not a discovery this morning. I know there are some places where it's been told new documents. It was published earlier. It was published as recently as June 22nd by Sunday Guardian, when again they said they have discovered it. So this document actually has a habit of making its appearance every now and then, every time the investigation starts moving in a particular direction. It's fairly comprehensible. Who wants this investigation not to move in a certain direction? Vitiate the atmosphere. Let us remember very, very clearly that this charge sheet, which has now been filed before the CBI court, actually says in one of the concluding paras that they are going to continue investigation further and name 4 officers of the IB, including Mr. Rajinder Kumar, and at the end say, and others. You also mentioned things of Mr. G.K. Pillai. I think he needs to be asked why he has changed his position. However, it also, please hear his words very carefully from the way I hear them. I have no personal conversation with him. What would the Home Secretary base his earlier opinion on? Did somebody from the IB feed him this information? If he has now changed his position, is it because the NIA has now categorically stated to the Home Ministry that this has, Headley did not say this and it is not part of their report? So obviously there can be a change of position because the NIA is the only agency which has spoken to Headley. Nobody else has.
Ms. Grover, may I say?
Sushil Kumar Shinde hasn't. Nobody else has.
No. Ms. Grover, please. You see, one thing is very clear. I have great regard for Mr. G.K. Pillai. I've covered the Home Ministry when he was Joint Secretary there. But the fact is, with the greatest of respect to Mr. Pillai, in November 2011, he says something. In December, there's an NIA report which doesn't mention what he said. And that's what I call a U-turn. I'm not even taking what he's saying now. In July 2013, Mter Pillai has done a U-turn on the subject. The second part is...
the basis of the earlier one?
No, second question. It does not... Does it not concern you? Does it not concern you, Ms. Vrinda Grover? That the government... No.
Yes,
let me complete. Does it not concern... Ms. Grover, please listen to me. Let's take the question and then I'll give you full opportunity, and then there are 2 gentlemen who would like to come in. I'm sorry for taking that turn. Does it not concern you as a matter of propriety and ethics that if this document is true, then the government suppressed facts in the NIA report that it published? Suppression of fact is not an important issue for you, Ms. Grover? Not a relevant issue for you, Ms. Grover? Should the government not be asked the questions on why it did so?
As the lawyer of Shamima Kausar, it is totally and completely irrelevant to me. My propriety, my ethics
as a citizen
are scandalized at the I'm coming to that, at the cold-blooded killing of a young girl against whom there is no evidence of any kind. The NIA states in its report and states again, there is an Indian Express publication today, I'm sure everybody has seen that, which says that NIA has reported to the Home Ministry that there is nothing in the report that Headley has communicated about Ishrat. There is this piece of document which keeps appearing. NIA.
I know what the Indian Express has said. The Indian Express has said. The Indian Express has said.
Where is this document coming from?
The Indian
Who is claiming the authenticity of this document?
One second.
And can we discount that the IB, which is claiming to hide behind this, is actually under investigation? 4 of its officers are under investigation.
Ms. Grover.
Put 2 and 2 together. It's simple arithmetic.
Miss Grover, I put the ball in Mahesh Jetpalani's court to respond to you, but with the greatest of respect to what the Indian Express has said, let me say this. That the Indian Express said that the NIA has told the MHA that David Coleman Headley has not mentioned Ishrat Jahan in his official confession. I don't know. Since when?
Correct.
Since Christopher Columbus, did we start having official and unofficial confessions? What is an unofficial and an official confession? I thought there's only a confession.
Kindly understand. Well, very well. I think if you want to, there could actually be very much more interesting stuff than that, which could be in the so-called unofficial confession. Let us at least accept that you are not an investigator and therefore you may not follow exactly what you're saying. There is an interrogation that was done by 4 officers who were sent by the government of India as members of NIA. And they have
now, Mahesh Jetpalani.
And now we want to believe some reports that come in.
No, I'm on only one point today, which is the truth of one piece of paper. Mahesh Jetpalani listened to your opening remarks, 7 minutes into the debate. Mr. Jetpalani, the ball is in your court. You've heard all the points made there by Brinda Grover at the start tonight, especially regarding this new document.
Well, I think that Brinda should first, and I'm going to say something in her favor, but equally she should accept that she can't accept the CBI charge sheet as the gospel, and she's also a lawyer for Ishrat Jahan's family. So her views are bound to be clouded. But I want to start, before I get into this document, I quickly want to say 3 things, Arnav. First of all, I want to say that me and my party both believe that even the worst terrorist deserves due process, with this caveat, that if there is clear and present danger, the police authorities concerned have a right to eliminate them, not in cold blood, but they have to take due care and caution in what they are doing. And thirdly, I'm not going to go, I know the charge sheet says that there's a fake encounter, but I'm not going to go into it because the matter is still sub judice. Once the Gujarat High Court ceases to monitor this charge sheet,
the issue of the document.
To say about the veracity. Yes, now I come straight to the document. The document is very important from the point of view of the fact of motive in the case. Brinda cannot wish away this document because the charge sheet of the CBI, which alleges fake encounter, alleges no clear and cogent motive at all. Why would anybody kill 4 people, 3 admitted terrorists and 1 whose terrorist antecedents Brinda is now casting a doubt on?
She says the document has no relevance.
But the document has complete relevance because the document establishes motive. It establishes a motive that there were IB inputs which were passed on to the Gujarat police, and the motive was not to kill somebody in cold blood because 4 terrorists, however they were killed, I don't know. That is a matter of trial. But 4 terrorists, 3 confirmed, 1 in slight doubt according to me. 4 terrorists came to Gujarat with the avowed intention of committing terrorist acts, whether it was to commit
So you believe this document? Can I ask you one question?
Or other senior leaders.
Brinda Grover wants to respond to you. I want to ask you one question. I have two documents tonight of the NIA, okay? 2 documents, Mr. Jetpalani.
Yes.
This is one document which Brinda Grover says has 0 relevance. And there's another document. In fact, it's a letter produced by the NIA to the court by the Central Government's Counsel Pankaj Champanari on May 12, 2011, in which it says a version made regarding David Coleman Headley making statement on Ishrat Jahan is purely in the nature of hearsay. It does not have any evidentiary value. So, Mr. Mahesh Jetpalani, before we proceed right here, right now on the Newshour, answer my question. How do you believe what the NIA says in 2010, this document, but don't believe what the NIA said in 2011, this document. How do you believe one version of the NIA and not the other?
I will. I'll answer both that question straight away. And incidentally, that also touches upon Mr. Pilay's so-called bold-fa. There is no consistency at all between what the NIA has said in the past and what it is saying today. The NIA report, the document you are seeing, which Brinda Grover very conveniently says suddenly appears in defense, is a very much part of a comprehensive report of the NIA interrogation of David Headley. This is undeniable. Let anybody from the Ministry of Home Affairs, including Mr. Shinde,
I think she should respond to you now. She raised her hand twice. She raised her hand twice. She's heard you, Mr. Jainara Vyas. I'm coming to you.
Listen, no. Arnav, you gave her 7 clear minutes. I want only 4.
She raised her hand thrice. That's why I said I'll go to her.
I can keep raising my hand, but that doesn't mean it merits an interruption. Let me finish, because I have a lot to say about Brinda's client. 1 minute. Then she can respond comprehensively.
Don't make the debate personal.
But this halfway, I'm not making it personal at all. I'm just saying, do not interrupt me when I'm in a flow. Because if that's the case, then I don't want to say anything.
Continue.
You have now asked me a question just because Brinda raised her hand. It is no reason to cut short what I am about to say. The NIA has made no inconsistent statement. What was submitted, a 117-page report, which was submitted for the perusal of the government earlier, including to Mr. Pillay, was a sanitized report. And it was a sanitized report because it exorcised, it obliterated paragraph 168 deliberately. Now today you are getting an excuse, Mr. Goswami, from the government that the reason why we did it was because we had a solemn assurance, we had given a solemn assurance to the FBI that our interrogation won't refer to these aspects. I say that's a lie. That's a complete lie. This has been deliberately sanitized to portray, as Ms. Grover is doing, that Ishrat Jahan was an innocent victim and not a terrorist. This conclusively nails the lie that she was a terrorist, and apart from this document, there is substantial other evidence which nails that lie and establishes unequivocally that she was a terrorist.
Ms. Brinda Grover, your turn. Jainara Vyas, I'm sorry to come to you late. After Brinda Grover's response to that, I will come to you. But a very important point raised. There is a published version of 2011 May. 117 pages don't mention the Ishrat module. This Ishrat module then comes up. So we come back to the same point. The government suppressed information. Information that could have evidentiary value. Brinda Grover, your response.
Two things. It's very encouraging to see that at least on constitutional principles, Mr. Jethmalani and I are on the same plane, and we don't think that people should be shot dead. The charge sheet, which he first said he was not going to talk about, he subsequently went on to talk about how a person who he had a slight doubt, by the end of the conversation, he was quite convinced about her antecedents and other links. Let us just
I had no slight doubt. You have a slight doubt.
What he may... I did not interrupt, and I hope we don't have interruptions. Let us just look at the other aspect that he mentioned, that some people came to cause some harm and terrorism over there. There is very, very cogent evidence today cited in the charge sheet, including in the nature of 164 statements before a magistrate in Mumbai of police officers, as well as farmhouse owners and employees, who say that these people were all held in prior custody. So the business of, was it necessary to kill them? Was this required because there was imminent danger? That aspect has been totally discarded, and we cannot entertain that argument anymore. Let the trial go on, and we will see where it moves from here. The third aspect of this NIA document, you had asked me that how do I think as a mere citizen? As a mere citizen, unlike political parties, I do not have access to documents that are now being thrown at us as authentic documents. The only document which you mentioned just now in the public domain, and which the NIA says is their report, does not mention the words, the name Ishrat Jahan.
But it is a censored document. It's a potentially censored document, edited document. That's the question.
Says who? Says who?
Well, say the facts.
Says who?
Say the facts.
Says you?
Say the facts.
No, let me just come to this.
Unless this paper is fake.
Where are these facts coming from? No.
The facts at hand, Ms. Grover.
We don't know the authenticity. Mr. Goswami, can I just finish, please? Please understand that at the center of this controversy is actually neither the NIA nor the MHA. At the center of this controversy is the IB, whose officers, including a very senior officer, Mr. Rajendra Kumar, whose intelligence input